Far beyond witches and wizards is the root cause of health problem of many in Africa. Seek professional advice concerning that your health matter.
Join Dr. Save a Life Foundation.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
Hello, nice to have you again in this special edition of You and Your Health. I want to personally appreciate each and every one of us for being part of Dr. Save a Life Foundation in this very wonderful campaign of liberating our people from the bondage of ignorance. I appreciate everyone. The last week was a bomb. So many people shared it all over the world. And I want to appreciate you for being part of that campaign, directly or indirectly. You can be part of us right there in the field. You can also be part of us right there in your office by simply sharing the knowledge you are getting from this particular program. As you share to somebody, I tell you, you don't know what you have just done. This unfortunate, deplorable, and unacceptable life expectancy of 54 years cannot be allowed to remain by reason of ignorance. And I want to just let you know that today we're going to take a little step further, because it has come to a point everyone is asking questions right now. What have we done wrong in this very country, which represent an African original picture when it has to do with our health? And on that very ground, today is going to be another special day where we're going to review, number one, where is this health crisis coming from? It will amaze you the source of this unfortunate incident. Also, we're going to look at, are there things available concerning whatever you are passing through, or your loved one, or somebody you know? Are there solutions available for them? Yes, I will be here today to reveal each and every one. And you will get to know why Jacob said, the Lord is here and I know it not. At this very juncture, I encourage you to invite your friend, as our custom has been. Let everyone, encourage them to tune in right now. Tune into this very station. I tell you, tune in right now. You're going to get something that will go a long way to save somebody, not just only from ignorance, from also spending unnecessarily and infertility right there in the hospital when the worst had already happened. Do that. I'll be right back.
Hello. I am Pastor Barrister Austin Nadi, the Country Director of Dr. Save a Life Foundation. I'm inviting you to join this life-changing and destiny-reforming foundation today. You can be part of it by calling those numbers that are running on your screen right now, or visit our website on www.theirself.org. Together, we can save a life.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
Welcome back. You are still on You and Your Health. I remain your friend, Dr. Richard Okoye, the president of Dr. Save a Life Foundation, a non-governmental organization with a very clear vision of giving total health to the people of Africa through the power of knowledge. Our major assignment has been on what we are going to discuss today. And what is that? The origin of the health crisis. Listen to me. Many people have admitted that there's crisis in our healthcare system, but getting to know the origin, that's why when you have to treat, you can treat palliatively. When you have to treat something from the peripheral viewpoint, you can also treat by identifying the source of this very problem. Then when you eliminate the cause, invariably you get the perfect treatment. Okay, so today we are going to look at the origin of health crisis in Africa, which Nigeria represented it all. And also we are going to look at the solutions available in our time, which many of us do not know. And what I'm going to reveal to you today will be like an eye-opener, just like we had last week, where people saw leg swelling, heart failure as a practical dimension of what is happening to so many of us and we there drinking one thing or the other, thinking we enemy. Religious narrative, and rather than curing problems, have created more enmities. That when people are together, they will be in position to be thinking this enemy is responsible for my sickness. Thank God last week, the video we shared, which most of you participated in the sharing, was able to resolve a long-lasting crisis in a particular family. They shared the testimony. The family happened to be polygamous in nature. One of the sons died, which with leg swelling and all the signs of heart failure, and everything we discussed last week, only for them to think that it is based on prophecy and based on some other things they found out, that it was their stepmom that killed the young man, that caused the leg swelling, that caused him not to be sleeping, that caused him to be having breathlessness. And lo and behold, that family, the senior person, called all the other people and said, we have to make peace in this family because we have come to realize the truth. So he shared the video to all the family members. Today they are together. Religion and all manner of tradition and narrative we inherited has caused more enmity in our midst. In your office, you are thinking that it's one person or the other person responsible, looking for your position and all that. It's unfortunate. But be that as it may, we have to start from the known. We are starting from how did we come to this level where Nigerian life expectancy has dropped down to 54. And we are saying no. And I know you also joining us to say it's unacceptable. And we are optimistic by 2025 that Nigerian life expectancy will move to 70 years. Relax, if we see the reality of this, as we just tell us some of the things we will reveal to us in a very short while. In today's edition, we are going to look at the origin. Where is this thing coming from? And I'm here to tell you, I've said it over and over again, but we're going to have a detailed understanding of that today. Listen and listen good. Doctors are responsible for our healthcare crisis. I'm a medical doctor, and I know this will also arouse the interest of my colleagues. Why I say, oh, doctors are responsible. Yes. And I think that if we start also from that very angle, it will go a long way to help out in solving the healthcare crisis in Nigeria and Africa at large. See the origin. The fact is that medicine as a profession started with a group of people that rather than thinking of all about helping mankind, they also made up the system to be in a form of fraternity. The word fraternity being his time around is like a fraternity not necessary for evil, but a fraternity that is meant for monopoly. Our fathers of medicine sat down together. Every other profession, in the most of the cases, tend to write people and teach in the conventional language of the people. But this guy sat down and said, okay, let us make this very terminology in a way that a common man can't access it. And what did they do? They sat down and changed all of the languages of diseases in relation to its explanation. And what happened? Everything that doctors speak, if I dare speak as a medical doctor here, when I finish, as I'm talking, you'll be sleeping. Because of the BB grammar. That if it has to do with even ordinary malaria, which me and you know, ask a doctor, what is malaria? He will tell you malaria is plasmodiasis. And if you want to write, then what you have is plasmodiasis. And you know what? They didn't stop only in the name. They also made it in such a way that even to write the drugs, you can write the drugs, tam, pam, pam, 1 BD times 5/52 or 1/7 of. So it brings in what looks like shorthand in addition to mathematics while trying to communicate. And what happened? It made this thing a very big crisis in healthcare. Forget about any other thing. Don't blame the people that are drinking what they are drinking today. Don't blame the people that are there binding witches and wizards on the case of their health. We need to get to the root. And what is that root? Medical terminology not being a common man's language is the crisis of our healthcare now, as I'm talking to you. If you read the dictionary, the longest word in dictionary is a 45-letter word, and it's a disease. It's called pneumono, ultramicroscopic siliconiovolcanosis. My friend, let us be very honest. And as I'm looking at you now and you are looking at me, and I say to you, your problem is pneumono ultramicroscopic siliconiovolcanosis. I know you will not only switch up your TV, you will now be praying because you know your days has been numbered. But you know what? That thing you see, as long as that does not represent the disease itself. Some of the big grammar, when you have diseases like onchocerciasis caused by onchocercia volvulus, did you know it's only one tablet that can be used to treat this very thing you see? That very big onchocerciasis, whether you don't get a psychiatric problem, caused by onchocercia volvulus. Chineke. And people are just like that. So, see the implication, and what I want even my colleagues to listen to me now, and let us begin to re-strategize fundamentally to see how we can liberate our society from a chain of ignorance. There's no way we can defend 54 years life expectancy in this country. It's anathema, as it were. And you know what? When this very crisis came, people will get to see a doctor. After seeing a doctor, the doctor will be in position to talk in their usual language, write the prescription, not clear to patient. Patient will not be in position to ask questions. Sometimes even when patient asks, the language or the communication will also be as obscure as the sickness itself. At the end of the day, patient will come out and ask the patient, what did the doctor say that is your problem? He said, do I know? He was there blowing giving grammar. That is the reason why a doctor will give a patient a drug and say, take for 10 days. He himself knew that within 10 days, this thing will be in position to resolve. Patients don't get to understand. And what do? After taking it for 1, 2, 3 days, they are not getting better. They drop it. That's why statistics have shown that 40% of the drugs that we give to people, they hardly take. Take 1 or 2 days, they drop. A diabetic patient, a hypertensive patient, it doesn't get to know why he's supposed to take what he's taking. So, that thing opened up a large door to what I'm going to explain to you right now. And the earlier we begin to come to this reality, and it is on the reality of this that God gave us a charge and a vision to decode this medical terminology in a common man's language, that by so doing that we will save millions of lives in Africa. That is why I'm standing here. That's why you see some of those people in the field communicating this in people's language. We once had a program in a community in Rivers State, Igrita precisely, and then I spent very good time with them, teaching both the elderly in their language to explain to them what diabetes can present, what hypertension can present. And having done that, I called them out. They were talking this in their own language. But do you know the interesting thing? When I left, over the time, when somebody is having headache, an old woman will say, have you gone to check your BP? And somebody urinating too much, you better go and check your sugar, or you have prostate problem. in their language. But do you know interesting thing that happened? Years after, I met one of the elders from that community. And he said, Dr. Okoye, did you know that since you visited us, till today, we have not recorded any case of stroke? Because before that time, they used to have stroke from time to time, and they say it's an attack, they say it's a manipulation, and all manner of things. That after I gave them that basic knowledge, that look, this thing is a telltale sign today, this is a warning sign today, that for throughout the years until he met me, he said that they have not recorded stroke as they used to record, which means that devil also left the village as I left. Because of what? Darkness disappear in the presence of light, so do ignorance in the presence of knowledge. It is time for us to begin to bring this very grammar. Also communicating to my colleagues in the medical field, even those in other paramedics. There's no benefit we have gotten in this country trying to talk to person in a manner that the person shows. Even unfortunately, though the practice is dying, where sometimes we can even give a drug without making the patient to know the drug we are giving the person. Today, internet is making everything open. But people are still browsing and go to Google. Sometimes they Google themselves into more confusion because of that very word. And that's why it is time for us to begin to bring this word, to be able to join together, to liberate our society. Somebody there drinking olive oil is drinking because nobody has been able to tell him or her. This thing you are suffering is because of this. A woman visited her family in the village only for her to come back and started having hot flushes. Hot flushes, sweating and all that. And prophetically was told that it's an attack on somebody you visited in the village. I think religion is actually meant to reconcile man. And I wonder why this has turned to create more enmity, because ignorance is prevailing. And he went and told her that he has to come down to the church or to whatever the spiritual house he was to do 21-day fast. A very responsible woman as it were. That's why ignorance is not a respecter of title. If you don't know, you don't know. Drop your hand. And he went and was doing 21-day fast. Problem was not getting better. She was still there and the prophecy was still on. Only for the sister to buy one of my books those days written about menopause. She was 51. And she read this very book and saw inside the book all the things the sister was passing through. He went to the church and gave the sister the book on menopause. It's a book I wrote then. Only for her to read word by word what she was passing through. At the end of reading the book, he packed her things, went back to her house. She packed her things and went back to her house. Knowledge is power. It's a true knowledge shall the just one be delivered. And that's why I'm beckoning on every one of us. Whatever you get here, it is not meant for your consumption. Keep sharing it. Keep sharing it. Keep communicating. You will see wonder that will happen in this country, which also will represent what happened in Africa. I want you to stay tuned. When I come back, I will show you the danger we are facing in this country. Unfortunate coming from this very background we have established. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
If this is a dream, may God not allow me to wake up, because I feel so good, I feel so calm, I feel like being in another world. The greatest gift that can be given to somebody who has arthritis arthritis. It's not giving the person a car. It is not car that the person needs at that particular time. What the person needs is solution to the problem that will relieve that person of that pain, because it's very painful.
You and Your Health with Dr. Richard Okoye.
Welcome back. You are still on You and Your Health, and we are looking at the origin of this, our miserable life expectancy statistics, which we said, no, we can't continue this way. Everybody is asking question where this death has come and appear not to be sparing anybody. And we say, hey, there's something more we can do about this. And that's one of the things we are looking at today. And we are looking at the origin of this very health crisis coming from the aspect of our fathers of medicine coding medical terminology in a way the common man can't understand. The implication of it is now what I want to reveal to you. Get to know where it's coming from. Because doctors didn't communicate this very language very well to the people. When you give the drugs, they will come out, they will not take the drugs. And somebody will walk to them and say, hey, that's your problem. You know, there is one product or the other product that I have, it will cure this, it will cure this, it will cure this. And this very person will drop the drugs and start taking it. Sometimes you will be told, no, this one is a native drug and not this, therefore you shouldn't mix it with your conventional drug. You shouldn't take injection with your conventional drugs, with the drugs, whatever product they want to give you. And people are left in the milieu of that kind of confusion. As a matter of fact, I had a program in 2016 in Washington, and one of the products that was being said here in the name of supplement, I was there and boldly written by Food and Drug Administration of the United States and said not to be sold in America. But here it was being traded in the name of network marketing, simply because people are looking for solution. Nobody to be blamed, nobody to indict here. People are still eager to know what is responsible for my problem. And once that very lacuna is there, people are bound to complicate their lives more and more. For those that will say, no, I will not take this one, I will not take this bitter thing, I will not take this supplement, they fall into the hands of what I can describe at this very juncture, spiritual merchants. Spiritual merchants that will always tell you, your problem is a spiritual attack. Don't go to hospital. If you go to hospital, you will die. And people are left tied wherever they are. There are people, as I'm talking to you right now, married from ages, and the prophecy given to them that somebody tied the womb. Of course, you know they don't usually tie broadcast, they will only tie the womb and all manner of things for years. Even when the man has low sperm count, it is an attack, and they will remain there until death do them part. Woman will enter menopause. Ignorance. It is unfortunate that in this country, we hardly record cancer survivors. Majority of the cancers can be cured today. But the bottom line of it is that it has to be dictated early. Prostate cancer can be cured. Cervical cancer can be cured. Most intestinal cancers can be cured. Only if found early. But where can you find our people? As I'm talking right now, somebody is somewhere drinking one water, one olive oil, or holding one thing that what they say is this one or the other one. We can't continue in this darkness, burying our loved ones. Everybody has seen now the so-called spiritual death has transcended every look and cranny. It has nobody to spare. That is to say, the time has come for us to ask questions. What is going on? The spiritual people are also dying. The physical people are also dying. If a person they call unbeliever dies, it becomes devil, kill the person. Now, when he killed the one that is also the dead that is spiritual, it now becomes that God himself called him, which will have no place to be saved again. If you are the other side, you'll die. If you also the other side, God himself will kill you. No, my friend. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Ignorance is the mother of personal destruction. And God said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, nothing more. So at this very point in time, I want to beckon on each and every one of us. The knowledge you are getting from Dr. Save a Life Foundation, from this program, can you begin to share it? It's a responsibility of all of us. Can somebody come to you and ask for professional health advice, and you ask the person, can you go to the hospital and be properly checked? Can you get a professional opinion? There's nothing wrong even getting a second opinion about whatever be your problem. There's no issues about that. Can you be in position to ask them, guide them professionally, not telling them I know what you are suffering. My dear, if anybody that is not a medical doctor advise you, it can kill you. Take it from me, from all innocency. I'm not here to demonstrate professional egotism or no one. Anybody that is not anybody that's not a medical doctor, season as it were, giving you advice, it can kill you. Because it's an obscure terminology. Start from the known before you go to the unknown. Go to the hospital, find out the cause of that your problem. When you find out the cause of your problem, if they say that the treatment is not available, you can now engage in God and say, I'm the God of all flesh, nothing is impossible for me. And if your problem is poverty dependent, tell God the truth. Don't use witches and wizards to confuse people. Stay tuned. When I come back, I will show you the latest innovation in the world of medicine, where you can have issues like heart-related problem, knee-related problem. This man you are seeing is running here without any heart in him, and so many of the transplants. I will show you what God has done in our time, which you cannot fold your hand and be dying in ignorance. Stay tuned as I come back.